Hello there, guys. Welcome to today's live stream. Just taking a look at dollar Swiss here. I do quite like the price action that's going on right now. We just had some dollar data drop, and it was the initial jobless claims that came in at 212,000, which was the actual revised previous number. And then we had the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index, which came in at 15.5. So quite a significant jump compared to the previous, which was 13.2. So some decent dollar data. Yet again, we've got existing home sales coming up very, very shortly as well. But I quite like the setup here on the US dollar Swiss franc. We can see that price on the 4-hour time frame here on the lower left-hand market, or the left-hand sort of area here, we can see that price has come into this 4-hour level of support, which were these lows that formed back on the 11th of April. And if I look at the daily chart, we are in a bullish trend here. So I like the idea of being a dollar bull at the moment. We're just in that sort of secondary phase at the moment. We're trying to figure out when that secondary phase will turn into a primary phase again and look to maybe target those key swing highs. So if I just clone this level up and just drop that down there, we're in this kind of 4-hour trading range right now. And I'm eyeing up this 15-minute setup here where the market has kind of come down all day. We've been bearish pretty much all day. We've found a bit of a bottom. Data's come out. We've breached that kind of consolidation area and we're retesting it. So I like the idea of being longs 50 above the 50 MA here on the 15-minute as well. You can see that we've kind of hugged the 15-minute 50 moving average for a little bit. And now that has kind of started to breach to the upside. So that's quite an aggressive sort of little move there. But yeah, I like that kind of setup. I also quite like cable as well. Cable's really interesting to me. I think the sort of difference between the central banks there is definitely something I want to try and take advantage of. So I like the idea, of being sort of involved with cable as well. We do have to be careful, obviously. I don't want to put too much exposure into the US dollar at the minute. But yeah, that setup's looking lovely. Look at these 15-minute candles. Look at that nice little break there. So maybe the break of this high there could be something to consider going forward. Who have we got in then? So we've got Vincent. Good day to you, sir, and good day to CG. Welcome to the live stream today. Hope everybody's doing well. Getting a little bit of action here today, which is something that I like the look of at the moment. Let me know what you guys are trading out there. We're going to take a look at cable in a second. Let's go jump to cable now. Cable is a little bit different to most currency pairs at the moment because there's a really good level to kind of work with on cable. So again, just looking at the kind of 4-hour time frame down here, what I'm pretty much looking at right now is the fact that we're kind of coming into this resistance level. And one of my favorite things to do is to kind of short from swing highs and buy from swing lows. So very similar to dollar Swiss in a way. We've almost got this kind of period of consolidation in here. And we've come up into that level. We've rejected it. And so I like the idea of being short cable as well. I'm pretty much in at 124.66 at the moment. So kind of looking at something like this. Stop loss just above the swing high, looking to try and target the previous H4 lows. Obviously, if you're trading lower time frame stuff, you might want to look at some trends within this area. You might want to look at targets down towards the sort of Asia swing lows, which you can see we've kind of come into, and price has found a little bit of support at looking left. So there is that to obviously consider in there as well. But I quite like the idea of cable going short. There's a lot of talk around the Bank of England and a lot of talk about cutting rates. I think we need to see a little bit more downside in that inflation reading, but we're not really getting the sort of message from the Federal Reserve at the moment. So we're broken back below the 50 MA as well. You know, I like to be short below the 50 MA. I like to be long above the 50 MA. And obviously we've been kind of pulling back these last kind of couple of days. So I'll see if we can get the kind of reaction here that we're kind of looking for at the moment. But we've got that sort of new home sales data as well coming up very, very shortly. So we'll see if that can kind of stick there. But I do quite like that. And I like dollar Swiss. So I'll be keeping my eye on both of these markets. If you want to be super safe, stop losses can go above that sort of swing high in here. Now, this is a sort of trade where I'd look at it and say we are in that kind of secondary pullback phase at the moment. They are tricky to try and get on the back of. What ideally I would usually wait for is a daily bearish close or a daily close within the previous day's candlestick. I mean, we had that yesterday. Prices tried to breach highs again today, and we're currently kind of trying to fail those highs. So I'm kind of prejudging that this could be a good area to get short at the moment, these 4-hour swing highs. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. That's why we've got appropriate risk management in place. But that's what I'm kind of looking for here on cable at the moment. Let's go take a look at some other markets then. So I do quite like the look of gold at the minute. Where is gold? Where's my gold chart? Let's bring up gold. Starting to see a little bit of a rebound from yesterday's price action. Closed bearish on the day yesterday, starting to get that nice bullish momentum move here today. 4-hour time frames not giving us a whole heap to work with. I mean, you know, these kind of swing highs up towards the 23.97 would be something I quite like the look of. So that's something I would potentially consider as a target for any kind of long positions at the minute. We've got this low that formed back towards 23.60s as well. Again, look at price. We're above the 50 moving average here. You know, I like to be long when price is above that. You can see his price remains above it. You can often get some good moves. So just sticking with that, really, looking to see if we can get any kind of momentum trade to the upside here. See if we get that kind of push up in gold again. I mean, it's a difficult one at the minute because this gold market, you know, I wouldn't really be looking to trade it past highs. Okay, so, you know, looking at these highs in particular, I'd only be looking to kind of try and trade it up to these at the moment. And that's simply because, you know, we don't have too much information beyond those points. So that's what I'd be looking for. I mean, looking at the 15-minute time frame here on the right-hand side, not too much going on here. But like I said, I do like long ideas. I like long ideas. Maybe we have to go a little bit lower. You know, you can see above the 50. Look at that. Look how price has just hugged the 50 MA here on gold for this kind of entire day. So maybe if price pulls back into the 50 again, closes above it, maybe that gives us a little bit of an idea that price may want to try and continue up into these 4-hour highs. Like I said, these would be targets for me. I don't really want to trade beyond those points at the moment because we don't know how far price is essentially going to go. We have no data to back that up. So that's what I would be looking at. So maybe a little intraday play on gold if we get some kind of setup down towards this sort of 23.82 handle. Breaches of that to the downside, then maybe this momentum that we've seen all day, this trend that we've seen all day is about to switch, and maybe we're going to see sort of breaks of these kind of swing lows in here and a bit of a drift down. So it's a good point to kind of reference here right now. Is this going to be the point where we see the trend continue on this 4-hour time frame? Let's have a quick look at the hourly time frames, what the hourly's doing as well. See, look, above that 50, we've climbed above that. Only argument we could probably make for risk to the downside is that we're kind of trading at a bit of a double top neckline there. But yeah, you know, like I said before, I like to be short from swing highs. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to come into those swing highs. Whether that be a take profit point or whether that be a point of short in the market is a different question right now, but we'll have to just wait and see. Good afternoon, Bruce from Johannesburg. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you are doing really well. Let me know what you're up to. Yeah, guys, let me know what markets you're trading at the moment. Anything that's kind of taking a pick with you, let me know. I will go take a little look at some other markets as well, but just keeping an eye on things at the minute. But yeah, it's interesting to see, isn't it? It's interesting looking at this 5-minute time frame on gold. You know, if you're looking to sort of day trade something, gold's a potentially good market to sort of trade around this time. It's the US Open. Lots of volatility coming into gold. I mean, lots of volume. So if you go to your indicators and put volume on, you can see that the highest volumes come in around about this kind of 1:30, 2 o'clock, coming into the US Open at 2:30 p.m. GMT for me. So this is a good sort of time to look at these opportunities. I mean, if we look back to yesterday's price action as well, we were very, very hot, sort of toppy around the sort of 294.20s, and the market then continued lower. And then look at that sort of break of that 50 MA just in here, close below, and the market momentum completely switches. It then uses that 50 MA as a point of resistance going forward. So I like the 50 MA because if you're familiar with sort of trading with volumes and you're familiar with something called the VWAP, which is the volume weighted average price. If I just put that on the screen, it can kind of track the VWAP in a way. So it may not track it as price extends away as aggressively, but if we look at it in kind of like a balanced market, it's very, very, very similar to the VWAP as well. Obviously, VWAP a tool that's used a lot in sort of futures trading and with level 2 data. But yeah, I like this a lot. I'm going to be keeping an eye on this, see if we can get any kind of opportunities down towards this 50 MA. Morning, Ryguy. I hope you're doing well. But as always, guys, any questions, let me know. Maybe there's a question around strategies, things like that. Let me know what you're up to. I was kind of looking at gold again, and I was looking at sort of the, you know, how can you create sort of strategies that are going to get you sort of 20, 30 pips a day? And this is one of those that could potentially do that. You know, you've got the sort of 5-minute time frame here, and I've got a stochastic down here. And, you know, a lot of indicators get a lot of bashing, but they're really good if you want to sort of automate stuff because they're very clear defined rules. The things that can make indicators better are us, you know, by understanding the market that we're trading, understanding when key important data is coming up, understanding the conditions surrounding the market is going to make a strategy better. So, you know, looking at this here, you could argue there could be a potential strategy where you've got a break below the 50 moving average, a close back above, and your stochastic is going from an oversold condition back into the sort of area of the stochastic, you know, and that would have been a nice trade. You know, you've got this one here as well, nice little breakout. Again, you've got the similar condition there where you've got the oversold condition, you get across in your stochastic as well. So that could be something to you know, consider. Obviously this one here, you're probably looking at not your entry being this precise candlestick. We'll have to have a little look. Maybe if I put it back in replay mode, I'll have a little look at how the stochastic looks there. So again, stochastic is lagging behind price, so you can see that there. You're starting to get a little bit of a curl up in the stochastic. You don't quite get that. If I shift it forward one, then you've got the sort of stochastic signal, which is a little bit later on, 230, 2380, back up at these kind of swing highs here. But if you've had a, you know, an idea that price is potentially going to move higher, then, you know, if you were to kind of play that out, then obviously, you know, we can see price rallied to the upside. Just something to potentially consider when you're looking at strategies. Let me know what you guys think about strategies. Do you try and day trade? Do you try and swing trade? You know, let me know what you guys kind of get up to and what you guys do as well. It'll be interesting to see how you guys try and trade the market. You know, there's a good conversation to have between sort of being right on the right side of the market or actually trying to pull some money out of the market, you know, by day trading. So I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on that. Right, guy, Euro pound is trading in a range. Can you take a look at it? I'm in at 855.73 with stop loss at 857 TTP. Yeah, absolutely. I can take a look at that for you. No problem. Yeah, Euro pound definitely in a range at the moment. There's been a couple of occasions where we've talked about the potential breakout. In particular, I think it was around this area back on the 22nd of March. If I just open this chart out a second. On this daily chart, you know, this is what we were looking at down through here, you know, the market being within a trading range, and it tried to breach the highs, failed. That's something that I look at. You might not initially try and take the position in here, but when you've got that kind of impulsive move away, then it's really a good idea to watch what happens when price comes back into that level, because, you know, you can see here we fail, sellers take over, the market goes to retest that area, and then the selling takes over again. It's very much like down here, buyers step in. Where do you want to be a buyer of the market? You want to be a buyer back down where that buying momentum took place, and then you get like this move in here. So you're looking at shorts, I guess, right, guy. Let me just have a quick look. I would try and just maybe like move this up a little bit now. We've got more data. I'll probably say that the, you know, starting to look a little bit higher on the range. So let's have a look. I'm just going to put the risk reward ratio tool on, and then we're going to edit this up. So entry price was 855.73, 855.73 on the entry, and we've got a profit level of 85.37.2, and then we've got a stop loss at 85.70. So is this I guess this is a day trade. This isn't a swing trade opportunity. It's a bit of a day trade and opportunity. Yeah, a swing trade and day trade. Yep. So looking at this right now, again, I kind of asked myself the question, where do I want to do business with the market? For me personally, and, you know, this might not work for everybody, but for me personally, I like to do business where there's been a lot of action before. Okay. So for me, just kind of looking at this blindly, I'd be like, where has the price done action with the market before? Well, down at this level in here where your TP is. Okay. So a good take profit. Back up towards 85.80 could be a good level as well, because we saw that selling pressure coming in here. Quite like this kind of day here where the market has just taken through. So I guess that's what you're looking at. If I go to a 4-hour time frame, yeah, I can see that in a lot more detail now. Going down to the 4-hour, I can see that we can refine this a little bit. So we've got a range just through here, and then I've got these kind of swing highs up there. So again, I like to be short from swing highs. So for me personally, if I was going to get short this market, I'd want to be short up here, okay? Because that's where we've seen that selling take place, okay? Obviously, it's easy for me to say that right now because in hindsight, you can see that the market has push to the downside. But if you look back through history, you can see when the market kind of sells off, you want to be selling around those previous highs and you want to be buying down from previous lows. If we look left down through this area in here, where does the market start to find buyers again? It finds buyers back where the market is at a considered low point. Okay, so I like that as a TP. I like that as a TP a lot. Do I like it as a entry? I would like to see a little bit more. Obviously, I don't know your strategy, right, guys? So if you want to inform me a little bit on that, if you don't mind, then we could have a little look at what you were kind of looking at. I'm assuming that's a day trading move because the market is kind of breaking down. So, and the sort of level there. The one thing that I would have, like I said, looked at was the fact that we come into these swing highs. This is obviously overnight, so you may not want to be trading overnight. But there's two things I would have done. I would have gone down to a 15-minute time frame and I would have marked out consolidation. Okay, if price starts to consolidate at a level of resistance, that to me is a good thing because there's a battle going on between buyers and sellers at that point. So we've got consolidation here. The market, you can see there's some clear defined lows throughout the Asia session there, some clear defined highs to work with. And what I would be looking for in particular is price to break out of that, come back, revisit it again. Okay, so you can see exactly that here. The market has come back, revisited. I probably would have looked to short below that Asia range low. Sorry, I'm just looking at because I can see gold sort of taking off at the minute. The breakout of that kind of Asia range and the close below it would have been a good idea, I think, with your stop loss above the highs. TP on something like that, I like where your TP is already, which was down towards this area, but my first TP would then be that level there. So even though I would consider that as a day trading move, I use the higher time frames to highlight those big areas of support and resistance. Then I try to get the best possible risk reward ratio from my lower time frames, if that makes sense. So I don't hate this at all. What I would say to you, right, guys, is obviously there's this consolidation on the 4-hour time frame. I would just watch how price reacts around 85.50. If it's not doing what you think you want it to do, then I'd be looking to maybe consider, managing the position at that point, if that's obviously in your plans to do so. Hopefully that makes sense. Trading ranges is difficult. It's a funny thing. I only trade ranges. They're kind of like my favorite thing to trade in a way because they've got real clear defined points. But you can have these moments where you get really strong breakouts of them, or where the market just doesn't seem to come down to the extreme of the range. So it's really important to maybe update those kind of lows and where the market's reacting right now. It's why sometimes when looking at support and resistance, I don't like to look too far in the past because, unless you're looking at the dollar yen chart at the minute for just an area for where price could turn, I like to use what's happened recently because those old levels just may not be useful anymore. Checking out gold. Gold is absolutely motor into the upside that I can see at the moment. So let's have a little look. It's just coming into those 4-hour highs. So let's just have a quick flick back over to gold. Don't know whether we got the 5-minute test, to be honest, on the 50 MA. By the looks of it, don't think we did. No, didn't get the 5-minute retest of the 50 MA. But look, we're starting to head towards those swing highs again. And that's what I look for, The market's moving higher. Where's the area where sellers have been involved in the market in the past? It's here. So that's where I would be a buyer too, and I'd exit my positions at this point. So is the market kind of thinking along similar lines? That's what we've got to try and work out. Or is it going to break and move beyond it? So unfortunately for us there, we didn't quite get the idea where that would have been a particularly good entry. me just go back a little bit here. Just going to take a quick look at dollar Swiss because dollar Swiss is moving a little bit higher as well. Just watching cable as well. But yeah, I would consider. Let's have a quick look. I've got a line on another chart and I don't know why. Oh, it's the double bottom neckline area that I'm looking at. Okay. So yeah, I just had another mark on another chart and I don't know why, but it was right where prices kind of hit at the minute. But yeah, I'd be happily looking for ideas to the upside as long as we could try and look for that H4 high. Let's go down to the hourly and see where we've got going on in here. Oh, sorry, Vincent. I've missed your position, haven't I? I'll go back to that. Good afternoon, John. Have you looked at euro dollar? I have not. Let's go and take a look at it because that is also what Vincent is looking for as well. So let's go back to that. Sorry, Vincent. I apologize. Completely missed that there. I like downside plays on euro dollar. I got burnt a little bit yesterday. I must admit, I was trying to short euro yesterday and got burnt as price kind of breached through 4-hour highs. So, you know, it's not the be all and end all 4-hour highs and lows. You know, they're just probable areas that price might do something. So I was watching this area yesterday. And I was watching the kind of conditions being formed here. And I actually took a decent short yesterday. And I'll come on to your position in a sec, Vincent, but just to kind of explain things. I actually took a decent short right at this high. And, you know, I always say looking to try and get in at swing highs. And my usual method would be taking profit at the swing lows. But I got a bit hooked onto the bias here. That we were going to come back down into the 4-hour swing lows. So I didn't take profit. I didn't take profit here, which I normally would. I held it. I got a bit greedy. And then the market came and hit me out for a loss. So unfortunately for me, you know, I let greed try and get in the way of common sense. You know, you've got highs being formed here. Great place to get short from these previous swing highs. Where is the best place to take some profits? At your first point of resistance. Even if price flushed through that level and I was technically on the right side of the market, you know, I could have performed a little bit better there. But let's go take a look at the price action right now. Again, like I said, I like to be short below the 50 MA. Look at how price, when it breaches that 50 MA, held up here, it's breached to the downside. Again, highs, breach to the downside. So quite like downside pressure here. Obviously, we've got data coming up in 30 minutes or so, 32 minutes. So that may change things, but I quite like the idea that we're breaking down. Let's have a little look at your trade then. So I'm just going to pop the trade marker on there. I don't know if you're buying or selling, but I'll have a little look back at it, Vincent. Sorry. Hiya, Brett. Welcome to the live stream. Vincent, I'm in short trade on euro dollar 106.824. 106.8. It's going to be a good entry. You've got some good entries, Vincent. 106.824. Profit level or stop loss, actually. Don't know where your profit is, but stop loss is 106.951. Like so. Yeah, love everything about that. I love everything about that trade. If I'm assuming rightly, you know, you've got a nice breaking structure here. Markets come in, breaking structure. That area there, spot on for a nice little short position. Again, just be looking at sensible areas to take some profits off the table. You know, I'd have banked some money already. Well, this is coming from me that yesterday that held it for too long. So learn from my mistakes. Here would have been a perfect place to take some of that position off. You know, even if it was 50% or so. You've got that nice little kind of breakdown there. And I'll just be holding this now. I'll be holding it to see how far we go. We've got that consolidation that was used as support before. see if it can kind of come down into this level. Maybe there's some room to take some more profits off at that point, or, you know, follow the higher time frame at this point. You know, are we going to get that condition where we move down? But I really like that, Vincent. I think that's a great trade. Yeah, spot on. Let's go to a 15-minute time frame there. Yeah, even nice little breakdown of 15-minute structure. Maybe I would have gotten a little bit later than you. Maybe that break below the 50 MA stop loss maybe a little bit aggressive to try and get some kind of good risk reward ratio out of it. But the problem is, at that point, I would have had to have held through that level to even achieve a 1-to-1. You know, take some profit out of it. Nice. I like that a lot. So we flip back over to see how US dollar Swissy is doing. Cable pulling down a little bit. It's not fired off, has it? Dollar Swiss, nice. So I see that break above the 50 MA. Hopefully see that continuation. Previous days highs, not too far away. So not previous days highs. I mean, today's highs are not too far away from where price is at the moment. So that could be something. I'm just watching gold on the top screen. I'm sorry, but the volatility in gold is just great at the moment. And obviously, no commissions on gold. We're just coming into that 4-hour level now. It's a shame, really, that I didn't get that pullback. I was really watching this area here on my top screen just to see if we could get like a little entry in there. Nice. Have to keep an eye on it though, because obviously this could change quite quickly. You know, if price come up into this swing high here, you know, and we get some kind of change in direction at that point, then maybe that's something we look at. You know, I'd be looking at sort of the 15-minute. Can that give us any kind of turnaround again? Very, very similar to yesterday. You know, this was an area where sellers were coming in a lot yesterday. So is this going to be an area where sellers come in on gold again? You know, that's what I'll be watching for quite closely. Is this a point where the sellers that were active yesterday at these points, are they going to start getting active again? And if they do, does it follow a similar type of price action? Do we get strong push away with the sellers? Buyers try and bring it back up. Do they fail again here? You know, I like the times when you have these kind of situations, you'll have a lot of people trying to buy at the top of the move. And then, you know, those buyers have an opportunity to get out again here, which then compounds that sort of selling pressure in the market. And you get that kind of kick on to the downside there. So, yeah, I'm a little bit fascinated with gold at the moment. I think it's a good market to trade. I got a little bit battered as well by oil. I got a little bit married to the long trade on oil recently. So let's go and have a quick look at oil. And then we'll have a little flick over to some stock markets. So yeah, basically I was trying to get long here yesterday. Again, 4-hour lows and highs doesn't always work. You know, this is where I saw price kind of coming into it. I thought that's a good idea. And then yesterday we had a little bit of a move into it as well. Yesterday, Tuesday. I'm pretty sure on Tuesday I said that, you know, this could be a good area for a bounce in the market, and or, you know, a very big breakout. And you know, we got the breakout instead. And I was up here looking at this 15-minute consolidation in and around this area. Price broke out to the upside, came back in. I was a buyer in at this point, and yeah, I got absolutely destroyed by that. And you know, if I look at my own rules and look at the 15-minute time frame, what's one thing that we can kind of deduce from that is, look, we're trading below the 50 MA. Yes, we get the breakout, but the common denominator on those, you know, a couple of losing positions is it's those, you know, it's the lack of momentum above the 50 MA. If I look at the 4 hour here as well, we're below that. And I know that's, you know, it's just a moving average. But when you get a move, you get a move away from an average. You know, it's telling us basically that there's momentum. There's momentum behind that market. And yet, unfortunately, got absolutely taken out on that one. But we're climbing back above the 50 today. We're at the 200 on the 4 hour. Yeah, maybe we get a bit of a pull back up. I mean, what I'll be watching really is this daily close. Oh, my Lord, look at that gold price. Did we just call the top in gold? I hope no one was holding it past that level. Look at that 4 hour high there. Boom. Big sales coming in there. Is the data been released yet? The data's not for another 23 minutes. Rodgo, what if gold breaks the area with strong momentum with a strong bullish close? Would you jump in on gold and wait for a retest? Yeah, wait for the retest. I'm going to say that now because it's faded it a little bit. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If I wouldn't be looking to long gold now that we've hit resistance, you know, because the selling pressure might be very, very strong. You know, it doesn't make sense to do that now. It made sense to be long into the zone. And I mean, that is a big turn. I don't know what necessarily has caused that. On my economic calendar, we don't have anything kind of coming up there until 22 minutes or so. So I don't really know what's happened there. I might have to... let's see if there's any data that I've missed out on there. I'm going to put it to a 2-1. The only thing I can think of is we've got Fed members speaking. We've got Fed members speaking. You know, how's that been felt across the board? You know, dollar up quite aggressively there. So maybe some Fed member. We've got Bowman and Williams speaking. So maybe a Fed member said something and it's just, you know, we've started to see a little bit of a takeoff in dollar prices. If we quick flick over to dollar Swiss, yeah, look, we've just hit that current day's high now. So that'd be a good place to take a little bit off the table. So I'm going to do that, I think. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's get some of you off of here. Market execution. I'm just going to close a little bit out of that. A little bit, look at the watch list. Close it out, a little bit of the first point of resistance. You know, just take a little bit of profit out of it. Don't need to take too much. It's a small profit. And I'm gonna leave the position open though. If we can breach beyond this, this will be good. You know, if we can breach above this level, then I'll be looking to kind of take it up to the 91.30, these kind of swing highs in here. Or, you know, potentially even to these 4 hour swing highs would be nice. 91.45s. So a quick flick over to Euro. Bet Vincent, your Euro's doing pretty well right now. Yeah, boom, look at that. Nice drop. Nice drop. I'll be looking, keep an eye on that area there. cable starting to drop as well now. So a quick flick on cable. Yeah, I mean, my target on cable is 124.24. So I'd like it to sort of breach down through these lows. My target is basically this H4 swing low here. So I'd like it to obviously get to that point. Let me just pop a little alert on there. Just keep alerts going. Just keep me updated on where the sort of market is positioned at that point. Hopefully that continues up. Let's go and see then. Where's dollar yen at? Where's dollar yen at? Has anybody traded the yen lately? Hi, Mohammed. Hope you're doing well. Has anybody traded the yen lately? I've been very much against trading the yen at the moment, which is silly, really, considering, look at this trend, you know, lovely trend, come back into swing lows again. You know, you could argue you've got that sort of head and shoulders pattern. Price has breached it. Look at the 50 MA bounces here. You know, really nice bounces from the 50 MA. And, you know, the market's starting to kind of push back to the upside here. I've not been involved in any of that. I got a little bit wary of the Japanese yen, to be honest. So we'll see. I wonder what these Fed members are saying. Is that why the market is going a little bit full tilt at the moment? Let's go on Forex Live, see what they're saying. Yeah, so we had Williams say, I don't feel an urgency. Oh, punch my mic then. Don't feel an urgency to cut rates. I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? So I don't know why the market's reacting from that. Fred Bowman didn't say anything, according to Forex Live. So, yeah, I have to see what the home sales do in 17 minutes or so. Hopefully this isn't like a pre-planned little move up before a drop on the home sales. But maybe the market's reacting more to what the comments were at the moment there. Yeah, go on, dollar Swiss, break those highs. Let's quick flick back over to gold then. Look at that move. Look at that move on gold. Yeah, where would I be looking to basically be involved with gold now is one or two areas again. You know, where did the sellers come in? They're coming up here, right? So I'm either going to be looking to sell back up at that area, or what if price gets down towards this H4 low, you know, down in here? Do we get a reaction from the market at that point? Do we see price start pushing back to the upside? So one or two things for me. I'll be looking for sort of a downward move into this H4 level. And then, you know, do we get a bit of a reaction at that point? Or alternatively, you know, does price rally back into this area and does it continue from there? Right, guys, we're running for about 45 minutes. So any more questions, any more charts you want me to take a look at? I haven't really updated the currency heat map for a couple of days, I must admit. So I'm not really looking at any kind of cross pairs. I've been very much focused on the US dollar at the moment. So if there's no more, I will leave it there. But yeah, interesting stream today. Nice to see a little bit of action going on in the market. So hopefully you've been able to catch a couple of little moves there. We'll see how the existing home sales come out. Maybe there's some kind of moves there. We do have member Bostic speaking as well at 4 p.m. And we've got some ECB announcements in a little bit as well. So they'll just talk about potential cuts, I reckon. So I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks very much for today. I really appreciate you coming. If you could leave the stream a like, I would really, really appreciate that. It lets me know that you like what you see, you like what the content that we're giving you as well. And yeah, I really appreciate that. So thanks, guys. Thanks to everybody that gave a question. That's Vincent, Rye Guy, Mohammed, Ibra, Bongo, Bruce as well from Johannesburg. Thank you very much for joining today. CG2. Global Village, thank you very much as well. So yeah, have a great rest of your day. Hope your trading goes very, very well. Remember, keep risk low, profits high. That's what we like to say. So yeah, I will catch you next week. Cheers, guys.